So, good day everyone. I am Gio Pere and today I'll be presenting our group's order billing system, which we developed for our E22 Finals Laboratory Exercise 2. So, let me start by explaining the problem we're trying to solve. Our instructor gave us a scenario about a small online retail shop that needs a simple web-based system to manage their customer orders and calculate billing. The important thing here is that they want something lightweight, so meaning no database required. Everything runs on PHP sessions which stores data temporarily while the user is browsing. Now, what exactly does this system do? So basically, it allows the shop owner to encode customer purchase transactions, so they input for four main things. So the customer's name, what product they're buying, how many pieces, and the price per item. Then our system does all the math automatically. So one of the key requirements is the discount calculation. Our system follows specific rules. If the subtotal is 1,000 pesos or more, we apply a 10% discount. If it's between 500 and 999, the discount is 5%. And if it's below 500, there's no discount at all. So this happens automatically based on what the user enters. So in terms of functionality, this is a full CRUD system. So it stands for create, read, update, and delete. Meaning users can add new orders, view all orders in a table, edit existing order if they made a mistake, and delete orders they don't need anymore. There's also a reset button that clears everything if they want to start fresh. So all the order records are displayed in this table here. And you can see it's not just the basic information. It also shows all the computed values, the subtotal, the discount rate that was applied, the discount amount in pesos, and the final total the customer needs to pay. This gives a complete billing breakdown for each transaction. So from a technical standpoint, we built this using object-oriented programming in PHP. We created two main classes, a product class that handles the product details, and an order class that manages the entire transaction and does all the calculations. This approach makes the code more organized and easier to maintain. So that's the overview of order billing system. It's a simple but complete solution for managing retail transactions without needing a complex database. So my group mates will now dive deeper into the technical implementation, starting with how we structured our classes. Thank you, and I'll now pass it over to Mr. Peralta, who will explain our product and object-oriented approach.
Greetings, Sir Janus. My name is James Ranzurti Peralta. I'm here to explain the product class. So we have here three attributes that are encapsulated using a private keyword. So we have here the product name, quantity, and price per item. And we also use a getter and setter, as you can see here. So we also have a constructor here that use a this keyword. So as you can see, product name is equals to product name, quantity is equals to product name. So how does it work? So let's go over to the system. So first we have the product name. So wait, let me fill the customer name. So I'll add James. Product name, let's say mouse. Quantity, let's say 2. Price per item, let's say 800. So as you can see, we now have a first instance of the product. We have the product name filled, quantity filled, and price per item, which is also filled. So once we hit the save order, it will reflect in the table. That's all, Sir Janus. Thank you.
So, greetings, Sir Janus. So, I am John Michael Achico from 2ITC. So, here in my part, the um, order class. So, it serves as a blueprint for managing a sales transaction by linking a customer to a specific product object. So it begins with the encapsulation private, customer's name, and the private product. So followed with the constructors, which instantiate the customer's name in the product also. And then alongside with it, which is the getters and setters for the customer's name and the product. And then for the next one is for the important function of the class, which is the calculation methods, whereas it first um, determines a row subtotal in the method calculate subtotal, which is this one. It will pull the data from the product object and getting the calculate subtotal by multiplying the quantity and the price per item. And then it will proceed to the object calculate discount rate, which is if the subtotal is equals to below 500, it will result into a zero or default of the rate of the discount. And then if the subtotal is equals to 500 and greater than 1,000, it will have a 5% discount. Then if the subtotal is equals to 1,000 and above, it will return a discount of 10%. After that, it will go to the calculating the discount amount, which is the calculating the subtotal and it will multiply with the discount rate. And then method for calculating them all or the total of the subtotal or the total amount. So here it will deduct the calculate discount amount for the calculate subtotal. So that's all for my part.
So, dangag greetings, Sir Janus, for the crude operation of our project. First, we have here a create operation which is done by clicking the save button. First, we will check if the save button is set using the isSet method in PHP. Next, if that is true, we will get the customer name, product name, quantity, and price per item values and trim and use HTML special chars or cars method to clean its value. And for quantity, we will convert its data type into integer using intval method, and for price per item, we will convert it into float using floatval method. Next, we will check if the customer name and product name is not empty using this empty method, and the quantity and price per item is not greater than 0 or is greater than 0. If that conditions are true, we will create a new product object that accepts 3 parameters on its constructor, which are the product name, quantity, and price per item. Next, we will check if the user is editing by checking if the index is set and the index value is not equals to empty string. If that conditions are true, we will create an index variable and set its value to index that is converted into integer using intval method. Next, we will set the customer name and product object by getting the customer name variable and the product variable created earlier. Next, for the else block, which means that the user is not editing, we will create a new order that accepts 2 parameters on its constructor, which are the customer name and the product object. Next, we will store it inside the session orders array. And after all that procedures, we will redirect the user into index.php and exit so that the code below this block will not be executed. Next, for the delete operation include, That is done by clicking the delete button. First, we will check if the delete button is set using isSet method again, and if that is true, we will create a variable named index and set its value to a converted integer value using int_val method, and unset the orders that match the index created earlier, and rearrange the array values using the array values method that accepts a one parameter, which is the session orders array. And once again, we will redirect the user to index.php page and exit the code. Next, for the edit operation, which is done by clicking the edit button. First, we will check again if the edit button is set using isSet method, and if that is true, we will create a variable named edit index and set its value to a converted integer using int_val method, and get the order object inside the orders array using the edit index created earlier, and get the customer name, the product name, the quantity, and the price per item, and display it inside the input fields inside the form on our HTML. And once the user clicks the save button, it will then perform the update operation include recording the new data inserted or inputted by the user.
Greetings, Sir Janus. I am Axel Tiremo, and for our lab quiz number 2, I'm gonna be showing you the live demo of our order billing system. So first, we have here an add new order form, and inside this form, we have input fields for customer name, for product name, for quantity, and for product price per item. And then we also have the reset session button and save order button. And below the add new order form, we have the order records. So this has a table that shows the customer name, the product name, the quantity, the price per item, subtotal, discount rate, discount amount, the total, and the actions. And now let's try to do the test cases using our order billing system. First, let's add John for customer name, Mouse for the product, 2 for the quantity, and 200 for the price. John, product name of mouse, quantity of 2, and price item of 200. Then save order. After clicking the save order button, the table now shows the order record for John. Then let's try to add the rest of the test cases. So let's add Anna for the customer, keyboard for the product, 3 for quantity, and 250 for the price. Anna for customer name, product name is keyboard, quantity is 3,
1 hour and 10 minutes left.
is 250. Next, let's try to add Mark. Product name of monitor, quantity of 2, and price per item of 600. Then say what. So now, the table now shows 3 records for John, Anna, and Mark. Now I'm gonna be explaining the price breakdown that is happening in each table. So to get the subtotal, we multiply the quantity to the price per item. So for example, for John, for his subtotal, he has 400 because we multiplied 2 for the quantity and 200 for the price per item. That's why we get for 400 for the subtotal. And then for the discount rate, he has 0%. So the discount rate is determined by the subtotal. So if the subtotal is equals 1,000 or greater than 1,000, the order will receive 10% discount rate. And if the subtotal is greater than or equals to 500 but not greater than to 1,000, the order will receive 5% discount rate. And if the subtotal is less than 500, the order will receive no discount rate. So for John, his subtotal is only 400, so he doesn't receive any discounts. And then next, we multiply the discount rate to the subtotal to get the discount amount. So for John, he has 0 discount rate. So if we multiply the 0 to the 400, it will return a value of 0. And for the total, we deduct the discount amount to the subtotal. So since John has 0 discount amount, his total is still 400. But if the discount amount has a value, for example, is for Anna, she has 37.50 discount amount. We're gonna be reducing that value to the subtotal, which is 750. And now her total is 712.50. So let's try to edit a record. So let's try to edit John's record. So for example, let's replace the mouse for the monitor. Quantity of 3 and 600 for the price per item. Now let's try to edit his record. Now we can see that the record for John has now been updated, and then also the billing for his order is now also updated. And then let's try to delete a record. So let's try to delete the record of Mark. So after clicking the delete button, our system will display a confirm dialog that asks the user if they are sure they want to delete the order. After clicking OK, the table now shows only 2 records for John and Anna, and the record of Mark is now deleted. And then let's try to use the reset session button. So after clicking the reset session button, our system will also display a confirm dialog that asks the user if they really want to reset all the orders. And after clicking OK, the table is now displaying no records, means that the record array is now has been cleared. So that's all for our demo.